Hello, everyone. We are still focusing on China. And right now, I'm going to talk about document number one, which was released last week. Okay, so in this document, China is prioritizing poverty reduction and development of rural areas in China in the year 2024. So China is prioritizing rural income and preventing them from going back into poverty. China unveiled its number one central document focusing on rural development and food security. The document is the first policy statement released each year by the Communist Party of China's Central Committee and State Council, which happens to be China's cabinet. Okay, so the document states that it mandates governments at all levels to release effective policies supporting rural household businesses. Number two, a long-term mechanism to prevent wage arrears from piling up and do regular skills training campaigns for migrant workers. Number three, in 2023, the per capita disposable income of rural residents reached 21,691 yuan, which is around 3,000 US dollars, which is a 7.6% year on year in real terms. Number four, they resolve to prevent and solve the problem of back pays for migrant workers. Number five, to expand social security for rural residents, increase supervision to prevent illegal activities such as fraud and cash extraction in agricultural related projects, encourage farmers to rent out vacant properties and develop those properties cooperatively with others to increase incomes. Okay. And number six, China recorded, its grain output of about 695 million metric tons, okay, in 2023, which is a year-on-year increase of about 1%, regardless of natural disasters that happened and also some floods and everything that happened in 2023. Number seven, to ensure absolute security food supply, China listed two red lines requirements for rural related work. Okay, this and again, number eight, they said government of China prioritizes improving farmland productivity, and they said their grain yield go above 650 million tons. This is for 2024. Okay, now another report said Deng Xiaogang, who happened to be the vice president of agriculture and rural affairs in China, said China is big. If we want to have global food security, we want to make sure that China's food is secure. So here he was saying then, well, in as much as we want to make sure the whole world has got food security, we have to put China first. Now, because China is a very, very big country, we need to make sure that we have food reserves enough for our own people before we can even look at supplying to the world. And he was talking in regards to grain production. And also remember, they focus more also on soybeans production. Okay. But on that, it's a different story altogether that I'm going to give you. But right now, I just wanted to give you some of the things that were listed in documents number one that was released by China, prioritizing, development of rural areas in China. Like I've already said in a video that I've shared with you, where President Xi Jinping visited the rural folks to see how they were faring in terms of their livelihoods, how everything is developing in rural areas, because China has been prioritizing rural areas, for quite a long time, developing their places, making that, they avoid the brain drain, especially in terms of teachers, nurses, police, so that those people, instead of them trying to find jobs in the cities or in towns, they have to work in the rural areas to develop their areas, to educate the area. So therefore, in order to attract qualified personnel, those places have to have houses, those places have to have roads, those places have to have accommodation, and in incentives like, power, solar energy and everything else like water and everything. So they said those things will have to be prioritized. And also one thing that I quote here is that they said those who have got excess land, that land should be utilized. If you cannot utilize the land, hire it out to those who can, or create cooperatives, work with others, to make sure that you develop those pieces of land rather than just keeping them and not doing anything. on those pieces of land. So this is all I have for you, friends, when it comes to China. But remember, I am going to be giving you more stories coming from China. And until I come back again, please subscribe and stay so that you don't miss on this and more. Until then, take care.